You are weaker than them. Your bones thinner, your muscles smaller. Your body was not built for cold, for hunger, for the kind of violence that defined every single day of prehistoric life. And yet, you are here, they are not. For 400,000 years, Neanderthals survived everything this planet threw at them. Ice ages, predators, winters that killed entire species. They were broader, denser, stronger in ways you will never be. Their brains were the same size as yours, some researchers believe slightly larger, and they are gone. Every single one of them. So here is the question that has never been answered honestly. If they were stronger, if they were built better, if they survived 400,000 years, why are you the one still breathing? Hold that question, because the answer, when it finally comes, will not be about them. It will be about you and the life you are living right now. Forget everything you think you know about Neanderthals, the knuckle-dragging brute, the primitive cave dweller, the inferior cousin we replaced. That image is wrong. Neanderthals lived in Europe and Western Asia for 400,000 years before a single Homo sapiens set foot there. Your entire recorded human civilization, from ancient Sumer to this moment, spans approximately 5,000 years. Neanderthals survived 80 times that. They weren't surviving by luck. Their bone density was significantly greater than modern humans. Their muscle attachment points indicate upper body strength that no amount of training could give you. Cold adapted in ways we are not. Wider nasal passages, shorter limbs to conserve heat, barrel chests built for thin, frozen air. They hunted mammoths, cave bears, woolly rhinoceroses, not from a distance, up close. When something went wrong, they absorbed the damage and kept moving. Healed fractures appear in Neanderthal skeletons at rates that stagger researchers. Broken bones, skull trauma, dislocated joints, all survived. These were not fragile creatures. These were the most physically capable humans this planet has ever produced. And they are gone. Homo sapiens began moving into Neanderthal territory 45,000 years ago. For 5,000 years, we coexisted. Same caves, same fire pits, separated sometimes only by a few centuries. We were neighbors. And then the genetic evidence reveals something that should stop you completely. We interbred. Between 1 and 4% of the DNA in every non-African person alive today is Neanderthal. You are carrying their genetics right now. They are not entirely gone. They are inside you, in fragments, 40,000 years after the last of them drew breath. Which means this was not two species at war. This was two groups of humans, cousins, encountering each other, and one of them not surviving. Not because of war, not because of disease, not because of climate. Something else, something that history books rarely say out loud.
Every documentary gives you the same list. Climate change, competition, interbreeding that gradually absorbed them, all played a role. But the research points to something deeper, something that reframes the entire story. Neanderthals didn't lose because they were weak. They lost because they were isolated. Their social networks, the connections between different Neanderthal groups, were small, regional, fragile. When climate shifted and food moved, a Neanderthal group in crisis had nowhere to reach, no distant contacts, no knowledge held by groups living hundreds of miles away. Homo sapiens networks were different. Wider, more flexible, stretching across vast distances. When one group faced collapse, they reached out, shared resources, survived using intelligence they didn't personally possess. Neanderthals were stronger as individuals. We were stronger as a network. And when the world became unpredictable enough, individual strength stopped mattering. What mattered was how many minds you could access when yours wasn't enough. Neanderthals faced the unknown alone. We faced it together. Researchers have calculated that if Homo sapiens had just 1% better child survival rates through shared knowledge, shared resources, the mathematics of population growth would have done everything else. No war, no massacre, just the slow, invisible arithmetic of connection, compounding quietly over centuries, until one morning, somewhere in Europe, the last Neanderthal woke up and there was no one left. Now, remember the question from the beginning. Why are you the one still breathing? Here is the answer, and it is not comfortable. The thing that killed Neanderthals, isolation, fragmented connections, facing the unknown alone, did not end 40,000 years ago. It is the defining condition of modern human life. You live in cities, surrounded by millions of people. You carry a device connecting you to billions more, and people today report feeling more isolated, more disconnected, more utterly alone than any generation in recorded history. The United States Surgeon General declared loneliness a public health epidemic with effects on mortality comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The same social connectivity that gave us the evolutionary edge over Neanderthals, the one thing that allowed a physically weaker species to outlast a stronger one, is collapsing inside the species that won. We built networks that spanned continents, and then we replaced them with follower counts. Neanderthals were stronger than you. They were built for a world that rewarded individual power. That world tested them for 400,000 years, and when the test changed, they had no answer. The world you are living in right now does not reward the strongest individual. It rewards whoever can access the most knowledge, the most support, the most collective intelligence faster than everyone else. The question is not whether you are strong enough. The question Neanderthals never got to answer is whether you are connected enough. They survived ice ages. They survived predators that no longer exist. They survived 400,000 years of everything this planet could throw at a living creature. And they were erased not by something stronger, but by something that understood, without ever knowing it, that no individual is more powerful than a network of people who trust each other. You carry their DNA. 1 to 4% of what makes you came from them, the last survivors of a lineage that should have outlasted us. And maybe that is why loneliness feels the way it does. Not like an inconvenience, not like a mood, like a warning, encoded in your biology from 40,000 years ago. Because somewhere inside you, in the fragments of them that survived, there is a memory of what it means to face the unknown alone. They were stronger. They felt things. They mourned. They survived longer than our entire civilization has existed. And none of it was enough. So here is the only question that matters. What are you building that will be?